So sitting right behind me is a 1974 Bellanca Super Viking. They only made 45 of these, and we bought one. It's been sitting here at Reading Regional Airport for a ton of years. And if you know anything about a Super Viking, about a Bellanca Super Viking, this thing's made out of cloth and wood, but it's got a big engine in it that's turbocharged, and this thing is really fast. Maybe this thing will run, maybe it won't. It might be all rotted out. I have no idea. Hopefully it's not as bad as it looks and it's gonna start and be worth something, but I'm not sure. Let's see what we got. Welcome back to Rebuild Rescue. Let's rescue an airplane. I've been following this airplane for about 2 years. Originally, it was gonna be auctioned off. I missed that auction, but a few months ago, I got a phone call from a guy that bought it and decided he might not be able to rescue this one or do anything with it because it's been sitting here for a long time and it's pretty bad.
I am never gonna financially recover from this.
But these Super Vikings are really cool. Introduced in the late 1960s, it was a high-performance, handcrafted American single-engine aircraft known for its wooden wings and its steel-tube fuselage covered in cloth. It evolved from the earlier Viking models, offering improved speed, comfort, and modern avionics. Production continued all the way into the early 2000s, with the Super Viking earning a reputation for its original design and excellent performance. This Super Viking has been sitting here for, as far as we know, I think it's about 15 years. And like I said, these are wooden wing, wooden spar, and the fuselage is cloth. The design is a little bit different, but it seems like people that like them love them. They have so many different features and quirks that are original to this airplane, and they are super fast. But I don't know how fast this one's going to be because it's been sitting out here, and so this edge here, like, it is super soft. I mean, that hardware, that is very rusty, and you have some of the cloth, or at least the paint, kind of pulling off of the cloth. Yeah, so that is paint, so that's okay-ish. Really, what we paid for this airplane, which I'll tell you guys a little bit later, I think even in parts, we'd be able to get more for this in parts than we would for what we paid. And it's got a really good engine that's worth like a really good amount of money, as long as it starts, as long as it's not all rusted out. But if you look at like the hardware and some of the different stuff on the airplane, it is rusted out, and I don't know, but some of it's not. So we'll just go over it inch by inch, see what we got. Hopefully, if we can't get this thing flying again, at least we can get some of these parts flying again. And I do know a guy that needs one of these engines, and I know another guy that needs one of these props, and it does seem to have some good avionics in it. All right, so wing-wise, I showed you guys, like, this is a soft area. I've seen people that have sold these before and had problems with, like, the wings being rotten. I think the spars would. Like, this is definitely not an airplane that you wanted sitting outside for a lot of years. So, but we'll see, you never know. It does have some pretty cool features. I mean, you got this big double landing light here. You got stall strips on it, and these things are fast. It is a fast airplane. You can hear some sloshing. I don't see any fuel in here, but it is really clean in there though. I don't see any dirt. I don't see anything kind of like flaking. Gasket in there actually looks pretty good. So this wing got some damage. Now you can replace those wings too. Like, even if that wing's bad, if this one is good. All right, so 2 bad wings. So it's got 2 bad wings. Yeah, this is all super rotten. Like, look at that wood. See what the tank looks like. Well, that's clean. And there's got fuel in it. So there's fuel on both sides, you know, down towards the wing root.
I don't see any big stains underneath or anything like it was leaking.
Not yet.
Yeah, not yet at least.
Oh yeah. Yeah, so this has some soft, definitely has some soft spots here. Yeah, same thing. You can see the cloth kind of split on the edge there. And now the wood is soft. So these flight controls, this is wood. And this is all spongy. This is rotten here. And the flight controls are just a little bit locked up.
A little click-clack in the bearing there.
Yeah,
That moves pretty good.
flaps do. Let's take a look underneath here at the landing gear. Oh, man. At first it looked really bad, but it doesn't look too bad. Everything under here actually looks pretty good. It looks pretty solid. I don't see a ton of corrosion or anything. I mean, you do have metal landing gear parts with some surface rust on, but it looks to be good. The hose is pliable. I do see evidence of twigs up in here. Looks like a bird could have been in there, but I don't see how a bird would have got in. The tire's in pretty good shape. I don't know how.
It's flat, but it looked like it holds some air.
Yeah. Up here on the roof, again, there's the cloth. The paint's been, it gave way a long while ago. I believe the cockpit on these are all steel, and I believe it's covered in cloth, but it could also be steel and wood. I'm not 100% sure. This is the first one that I've looked at. So something like this flap here, this could be good. It could be a salvageable part if we can't get this airplane flying again. That could be a good part.
Clean it up a little bit and list it for sale. See if we can get some money out of it.
Yeah. We got the same thing over here. We have this wood strip here. It's solid. It's not really rotten. No, it is pretty rotten. And the tail on this airplane is huge. Like just the body of the tail. Now the rudder itself, it's not overly big. It's pretty seized up. Maybe with a little bit of lubrication it'd be good, but structurally that could be a good part as well. Let's look at the that landing gear on the other wing. This tire's got some dry rot on it, and it's got some flat spots. Something I've seen before is it sits for so long the tires are completely shot, so the airport, so they can move it, will just put some old flat spotted tires on that are newer that hold air. And I'll bet you that's the case because this one has great tread. It doesn't look real old, but it's got some massive flat spots in it. Brakes look good. The hose is pliable. It's kind of pliable. I don't see a lot of rot. The struts themselves, there's some chrome showing. They're not pitted up real bad. So this flap comes down freely. Again, it's like ginormous. Yeah, we got the dual exhaust. I can't wait to check out that engine and see what it looks like. So the one concern I do have is that window is out. I don't at this point see any bird's nest or anything like that in there, but we may get surprised. So if you look in the exterior, we obviously got, I think, one or two rotten wings. The flight surfaces are a little bit stuck and
Questionable.
a little bit. There's corrosion on pretty much all of the external attaching bolts for the ailerons and the flaps and the elevator and the rudder. So not sure on that stuff. It looks like as far as the cloth and the exterior stuff, it has some pretty serious damage. But I am going to go ahead and get some crawl on all the different pivoting surfaces and stuff so we can see if that all is still connected and see if all the other hardware that's hooked to it is all working and in good working order, or at least fair working order. It's really not as bad as what I was thinking it could be. Now, that's without looking inside of the wings and seeing if the main spar structure is damaged or not. I mean, you could definitely pull any part of an airplane apart and rebuild any part. That's a guarantee. But is it going to be economically viable? Would it be a good idea? Maybe not, but we'll find out. So the other thing too is we don't yet have logbooks for the airplane, but I do have the phone number of the family that used to own the airplane, and there's still a chance that we could get the logbook. But rebuilding one, putting wings on, finding logbooks, that's a lot of ifs, and that's a lot of expense too. I mean, these things are worth really about this much, or maybe about this much, but it may cost this much to fix it. I don't know. So we actually ended up paying $8,500 for the Super Viking, which is a great deal when you look at all the parts that are hopefully going to be good on it. Now you might think $8,500, well, that's a lot of money to pay for a rotten airplane. But the Super Viking has a lot of good parts, and I feel like the engine could be in good condition. If it is, we got a great buy. Maybe we can even save it, but maybe not. Let's take a look inside here, and Any bees? No bees. So we got this huge baggage door over here. And the thing that I like about this baggage door is it's like a high baggage door. It's not down here to where you gotta go down in it, and it comes out about even with the roof. So it's really like set up the way you would want. So we got some Aeroshell 100 plus aviation oil, GE sealed beam lamp. I have a feeling this is not aviation spec, but it looks like it was a replacement landing light. So we got a belt, likely an alternator belt, and there's a switch for something. One of the cool things with the Bellanca is, I'm thinking Giuseppe Bellanca must have been a skier, because when they built this, they built a ski compartment. So you can put skis in these things. It goes back here in the fuselage in that little area, and then you just either lay the seats down or put them up over the seats right here. So if you want to go skiing, you're taking the airplane, you can shove them all in there, and you got the storage for them. You might even be able to fit like a golf bag back in there, but I think it was made for skis. Not 100% sure. Also have what used to be a space for an oxygen bottle back there. So this used to have oxygen, check main oxygen tank valve before taking off. Being that this, is a turbocharged airplane, one of the ways that you take advantage of that turbo is to get up really high, and you have full power up to a certain altitude, and you can go really fast. You can get above weather. But to do that, you guys all know we need some oxygen. So this used to have built-in oxygen. Doesn't look like the tank is here anymore, but it could be outfitted if you wanted. Being a 1974, and the fact that they only built like 45 of these, that was it. And I don't know how many of these are flying, but if there was 45, I'd be surprised if there was 20 left still flying. If you guys remember the Aero Commander that we rescued, that was part of 4 airplanes that the guy owned, and one of them was the last Bellanca Super Viking ever built, and it only had like 41 hours, and we missed buying it, and I was so sad about that. But let's check out the interior. If there's any bugs that are going to come out. Wow, and this door, the way this is designed is really, really cool, because the door actually comes into the top of the fuselage. So when you get in and out, your head's not, it's just a lot easier to get in and out. Yeah, and this paint gave way some time ago. All right. Wow. This is so roomy.
A lot going on in that panel.
Yeah, there's a lot
They
going on
really
in this
stuffed
panel.
it into that one.
Right here, you can see there's that chromoly steel frame that comes up from the main points. That goes down to the motor mounts, and it goes through the ceiling all the way to the back of the fuselage, and that's really what gives it strength. It's really similar to like a Mooney.
So it's almost like this thing has a roll cage.
Yeah, it's exactly like it has a roll cage. And if you look here, we got all the breakers. We got a flap control here. Got fresh air, warm air, defrost. Got your standby vacuum. Of course, all your mixture controls. Now, this one is like the Twinkie because it is turbocharged. So this one has the turbocharger control. So it's a Ray J type. I don't know if it's a Ray J brand, but it is a Ray J type, meaning you have full control of that turbo. So if you're at like a high density altitude during takeoff, you can give it some turbo to get it turbo normalized to get all your horsepower back. So we do have a Garmin GTX 330. There's some value there. Not sure what this old VOR thing, North Star M1 is. Never seen one of these. Got the good old MX 170B comm nav unit. We got a GNS 430. The screen doesn't seem to be all messed up. Hopefully this turns on. We have an old KMA 20 TSO. It does have a Century 2 autopilot. When these work, they work really good. Someone did put an aftermarket or a later intercom setup on here, which is always nice. It does have a JPI EDM 700. That is a great addition. Got your, well, yep, the prop stuck. Yeah, that's going to need a little lubrication here. Throttle's nice and free. Mixture's nice and free. Got your gear switch. All your indicators. Aux fuel pump. Got all your dimmers. All the lights here. Oh, you know something I don't have?
What?
I don't have the ignition switch.
Oh.
I don't have keys.
Oh.
So we're going to have to figure that out. They made really good use of the panel and the space they had. It does have also electric trim here. Doubt it works, but they do have electric trim. The carpet's pretty worn, but man, it is just roomy. There's nothing here. So there's nothing in between you. Like every other airplane you get in, there's something kind of like in your way or you feel crowded, but in here you got lots of shoulder room. You also have your fuel selector here. So you got 30 gallons on the left, 30 on the right, and then this one has a 15-gallon aux tank as well. So you got 75 gallons. All right, so left, right, off. It feels great. It feels like this switches well. And then you got the trim.
I'm hearing stuff happen.
Is it trimming?
No, it's going. Yeah, it's coming back up.
All right, so this is just like a Cherokee where it's on the roof, or you know, an old Cherokee 6 or a PA-28 140. Oh, looks like our croil worked.
Oh yeah, we're moving. What about the other side?
Kind of moving. Is that moving out there?
Yeah, other side's going.
Wow, and they were like completely stuck when we got here. Yeah, and it's loosening up more and more. All right, I'm gonna pull back, see if we got any elevator.
All right.
Ready?
Yep. Oh yeah, we're coming up.
It's elevating?
Yep, elevating.
It stopped elevating.
Oh, there, you're back down.
It's good?
Yeah, both sides moving.
Wow.
Sounds smooth. I don't hear any
Yeah,
rubbing or
so literally
creaking or anything.
they're actually kind of smooth now.
I hear a little creaking right here, a little rubbing maybe, but not bad.
All right, let's turn the radio master on. What's the chances this has any juice whatsoever?
I'm thinking like 0.
0. All right, let's turn the master on. Ready?
Yep.
All right, no juice.
Nothing.
I didn't think there'd be any juice.
Yeah,
There would have been
I'd
juice.
be surprised.
I'd have been really surprised. All right, let's see if the defrost, yeah, that works. Warm air, fresh air. So all this stuff is all loose.
No AC?
No AC.
Okay, that'd be
Yeah,
surprising.
AC is altitude.
Yeah.
The higher you get up, the cooler it is.
Yes, yeah. Use your turbo.
Yeah, really roomy. The seats are in great shape. Like, I would fly with these seats, no problem. And they look good. They're retro.
Fabrics are a little dirty, but not bad. I mean, you steam clean some stuff, and I bet it looked pretty nice.
Yeah, I think you do got, like, this velour. You got, like, the colors out of it. You could dye that. It's solid, though. It's not falling too much apart. A little bit of vacuuming. All right, so the wood on here is a little rotten around the edges. You got a fire extinguisher here. It's got your own air control for your heat back here. You have your oxygen, your built-in oxygen in the ceiling here, so you can get it to the back seat or you can get it to the front seat. Crazy enough, this also does have a wood floor. So there's a lot of wood in this plane. Ooh, and we got a little bit of wood mold down here, right there, but it's solid though. Some nice belts, shoulder harnesses. Used to be a inflatable door seal here.
Not so you can check your blood pressure
Yeah.
at altitude?
Well, you might want to do that too, especially if you're flying this with the wings in this condition.
Yeah.
You might want to be checking your blood pressure. Everything seems to be solid. Everything is in good shape. One of the questions I do have, you know, once we power this up, are all these avionics going to work, especially like this Garmin, because that's a value. The 330, a little bit of value, not much, and everything is pretty much older. The JPI 700, as long as all the digits are good, there's some value there as well. But again, I'm floored that flight controls are good. Now, we don't know if the flap motor is going to work or not. I kind of doubt it, but you never know. All right, let's find a battery. Hey! First time, and we found the battery. See, we're getting a little bit better than we did in the 401.
Experience.
Yeah. All right, so we found the battery. We got the ELT down there. You can see some of the foam here, the insulation is just gone. I mean, that's sprinkled around here everywhere. But the wood, this is all wood here. That's in good shape. The airframe, again, that's that caged steel airframe. It runs all the way through the airframe. There's no water down here. Let's get this opened up. See what condition the battery's in. All right, so we got some dates on the battery. So yeah, 2016, 1/17, 2016 is the last time this was open. You can definitely see we got some corrosion going on. Nothing terrible though for something that's been in here that long. My thought is it's probably the last time this thing flew, or was at least put in annual, would have been 2016, which is only
9 years ago.
So that's how bad
Wow.
one of these airplanes can get when they're not hangared. Like if you got like a wooden winged airplane, you might want to keep it in a hangar. It's probably not the best one to keep outside.
Leave it outside.
No. And of course, you want to unhook the ground first. So I could put the jumper pack right on this battery, but with this battery being so old, it could have a dead cell, like a dead cell short in it. So I just like to unhook them. If it has a completely dead cell or a short in the battery, it'll kill your jumper pack. So the one thing that you'll notice whenever we're doing any of these hooking batteries up to airplanes, I always use a jumper pack. I use an extra big one, and I don't use the ones that time out. I use the ones that have the switch on, so you can turn it on and off. Because right now it's hooked up, but it's not on. You can put a, turn it on and just look at everything quick, make sure there's no sparks or anything wrong going on. And if there is, you can turn it right to the off position. Also, too, it's a larger one, so you're not stressing anything. I mean, that has more cranking amperage than that battery does there. All right, I'm going to turn it on. You ready?
Yep. Well, nothing blew up.
All right, so nothing here, no sparks, nothing on the panel. The panel is still turned off though, so right now really it's just power up to the solenoids. I haven't turned the solenoids on, so we're good there. So everything is good here. If you wanted to take another precaution, you could tape up those terminals. They're positioned fine. I feel comfortable. So let's get in and see what happens.
Moment of truth.
Let's get rid of my one black glove because it's awkward. If I could do the moonwalk up here, I would.
Right down the length of the wing.
And fall through the wing. All right, you ready?
Yep.
Turn the master on.
Oh.
Okay. I don't know what that was.
Something spinning up.
Something was something. So I'm going to start pulling breakers for things just to make sure. All right, whatever was turning on and off, stop turning on and off. So, we got 3 green. The gyros are gyroing.
Loudly.
Hey, give them a break. It's the first time they've spun up in like 10 years.
All right, fair enough.
So we got the flaps as...
Oh, yep, they're flapping.
Oh, look at that. Look at how deep they go. Oh my God. How's that look?
Pretty good. It's all the way down.
All right, let me bring them up.
Yep, there they come. Yeah.
All right. All right, let's check. Check the electric trim.
Yep.
It's working.
It's going. It's just moving really, really slow out here.
Yeah, they move pretty slow, but so electric trim works. We're gonna turn that off for now. All of the dummy lights are working. There's a turbo oil pressure. All right, I'm gonna turn on the radio master. Wow. Oh, it's a 430. It's not a 430W. I mean, it's still a good radio for different things. You just don't get the watts for GPS approaches and stuff like that, but it's still going to get you to where you got to go. All right, where's the OK at? Enter. No? Uh-oh. Not OK. All right, so all this stuff here is all working on the JPI, but I don't know why this isn't. I guess the button's sticky or something would be my guess. Well, at least this Navcom works.
Speakers are still pretty good quality.
Yeah. Yeah, when you used to use
Oh
a
my
mic
gosh, are you kidding?
and listen to everything without a headset.
That's wild.
Crazy, yeah.
Back when they didn't care about deafness.
Yeah, back in the day when you were deaf by the time you were 30 anyway.
Hearing damage.
I had saw that this had a 430 in the picture. I was really hoping that worked because that is some value to the plane. It doesn't seem to be working, but I think it's probably, something a little more on the lines of, maybe just needing cleaned out. It's something I'm sure I can send out and get fixed for a, okay price.
To me, the big thing is that the screen came on, it looks good, and it did its self-test. So, I mean, I would think a significant part of it works.
All these work, that's nice. Transponder's working as far as like display and everything, which is good.
Is there a way to test the Century 2, or not really? The gyros came on. Oh. Well, all right.
Kind of works.
In case you want to do a full bank to the right about exterior lighting.
All right, yeah, I'll go check. Strobe.
I don't see any strobing.
All right, let's check the landing light. Ready?
Yep, yeah.
Taxi and landing.
Yep, got them both.
Nav.
You do have a red light on this side.
Okay.
I don't see the beacon doing anything.
Okay. So I think some lights, it's got some lights out, which you'd have to kind of figure on there being some lights out. The 430 is a little bit of a letdown. The buttons aren't making contact. Could be a quick, cleanup of some of the contacts. I'm sure there's got to be a company we could send that to and get that kind of cleaned up and going over. Hopefully you don't have to send it to Garmin because I think it's automatically like a $3,000 thing and
Ouch.
It's not a WAS and so we do also have the 430s out of the Cirrus that have bad screens. That has a good screen, so we might be able to send both of them somewhere and maybe have them fixed at an Avionics repair place or something like that. I'm not sure. I've never sent any out. So really, at the end of the day, I feel pretty good. The JPI looks like it's working great. These indicators are all working. Everything looks good there. The Navio indicator, I just bought one of these. It was like $1,000 used. That's good. The Century 2, it seems to be doing its thing. Believe it or not, it has right brake, no left. It's got right on the right side and left on the right side, but on the pilot side, no right brake. So I would probably start it up from this side. The only thing we really need to do is find a key, get up underneath the cowling there, take a look at that engine, and see what we got, because that is really going to make or break this deal. If that engine is junk, it's locked up and there's rust and it's worthless, then I'm barely going to be able to get my money out of this plane. If that engine's good and the prop's good and we can fire this thing up, I got a steal. I got a bargain. Even if this becomes a parts plane and the multiple parts that are good in this plane gets other planes flying, keeps them flying, and we can get this off the airport to where it's doing airplane stuff, then we're good. But I don't want to do that and lose a bunch of money. So let's find out. Ooh, that moves pretty nice.
Oh, God.
That's not the reaction I wanted from you, Corey.
Well, it's definitely a rebuild rescue airplane.
Wow. Did I say 15 years? I might have meant 50 years. Oh, nice. Oil cooler bird box.
We got compressions written on the cylinders. That'll be interesting to
compare.
Yeah.
It'll have like 2 PSI.
Yeah.
Man, so got a nice turbo right here. It's a little bit bigger than the turbo that is on the Twinkie. So I would assume that means it has 2. Yes. All right, so we got 2 turbos. So it's a twin turbo, which 2 turbos are always better than 1. Oh.
Give me flashbacks to the TB20.
Oh. other than the nest here, everything looks like it's in good shape. As far as like all the paint and everything is all intact here. The hoses look good. It's got a tannin preheater on it. It looks good. It doesn't look like it's in bad shape. I don't see any cracks. Like I got to figure out how many hours are on the hobs. Wait a second. I don't have the log books, but we have a hobs somewhere.
Some info.
Probably going to be on the JPI. So we're gonna have to look at that.
Okay.
But I just remembered it's got to be in there somewhere. So since we don't have the logs, we haven't talked to the old owner. Nobody really knows what's going on with it. We'll have to figure that out. But looking in here, like this is bad. Belt looks pretty new though. I'll bet you if this was all washed down, look at the paint on here. The paint looks pretty new. I would venture to say it's probably a pretty low time engine. If that's the case, if we don't get it flying, if someone gets the engine, it's going to be a good engine for like an overhaul or maybe for a kit plane or something like that. Hold my breath. If I pass out, pick me up. One of the things I did notice right away, it does have the, what used to be, I believe, orange. Wait a second. This says blue. This is a blue color here, but it's blue here.
It's blue here.
Is it yellow up there?
Yes.
So what does that mean, blue and yellow?
I remember Pete saying something about
so
one of the colors being like sizing, like if it's oversized.
Right.
Or...
So maybe it's an oversized steel, I think is what that may mean. But we'll be able to tell when we look and we look at the piston. But the more and more like I work on this and I look at the color of the engine, this has to be a low time engine. All right, so we got this cleaned up as much as we need to get it cleaned up now. We're gonna get some penetrant in here and I'm just gonna lube up everything that we may have to move, and we're gonna give it probably a day or two before we continue to work on this, because it's so bad it's gonna need some time to sink in so it doesn't end up stripping anything or messing anything up. That can get really expensive. Oh wow, look at this. This is a very good overhaul shop, obviously. Look at that. And that sticker looks really new. I'd put good money on the fact that it's a low time overhaul engine. If you guys haven't heard about it yet, we do have a raffle going on here at Rebuild Rescue for the Rescue Foundation, so we can do good things in our community, and so one of you guys can fly away this airplane right here. At this moment, it's getting its brand new paddle in, so it's all stripped down. Not only does it have a brand new performance build engine, a brand new prop, and all kinds of nice new interior goodies, it's gonna have a full glass panel. Can't wait for you guys to see it. If you haven't gotten your ticket yet, you can get it right here. Right here. Just take a picture of that with your camera or put your camera on it. I'll wait. Get entered. It'll help us out with the Rescue Foundations. It'll help us out with the 401 and all the cool things we get to do together. All right, so it might look like it's the exact day as it was a few moments ago in the video, but it has been a few days, because as we were looking at all this bird stuff, we decided that it was gonna be better if we got a vacuum and a couple other things that we could kind of capture some of this stuff if it became loose. Last thing we want is any of this FOD rolling around and being able to get in anything and just taking care of everything around the airport. I mean, this is an awesome airport. I mean, they got a museum over there with like all kinds of really cool airplanes, and I didn't even know this, but this used to be a huge military base. It was built in like a year. Zach, the manager, was sharing all of the history here at the airport, and they really take great pride in this. If you look out here, like everything is perfectly clean. And when we're at the airports, we need to make sure that we're respecting everything. And so we try to keep as clean as possible. Got a vacuum. We're going to pick this stuff out. We also don't want to light any of this stuff on fire if we can get this thing to start. So we've been cleaning up bird stuff. To do that, I think next we'll take this lower cowling off, and then we can see what else we got, but I have a feeling this is going to be one really good engine.
Just a little bird nest in there. Nothing too terrible. What's in there?
All kinds of stuff. It's the vent to cool the fuel pump, so it's not that important right now.
Just yet.
Just yet.
Way
All right,
cleaner.
Lots of bird stuff. Now that it's cleaned up, we're gonna check the oil. We're gonna go over it. We'll pull the plugs out. We're gonna check all the cylinders. Hopefully we have a really good engine here. I don't know about the rest of the airplane. I don't know how expensive the wings would be to fix or to do stuff like, you know, the rest of it. I'm not sure. I don't know a whole bunch about the wooden wing planes or these Bellanca Super Vikings for sure. Maybe one of you guys do. Maybe one of you guys are saying these guys are crazy because there's no way that thing can fly because these wings are unobtainable, or maybe they're not repairable. I don't know, but everything right here is in really, really good shape. Let's check the oil, see what we got as far as oil. Hopefully there's some in it. This will also tell you pretty quickly if it flew after having the last annual done.
See something.
So it starts at 6 quarts, which is interesting, but I think it has brand new oil in. Well, brand new, like 15 years ago oil or 10 years ago or something.
Didn't look like it had been ran too long or anything. It wasn't black.
Well, no, you can't even like see the oil. So
Yeah.
I think it has... All right, so it has about 10 quarts in, which is perfect, and it is brand new. So it was annualed and parked, not flown. So when you have these leads that are dirty, that have been sitting around forever, make sure you get that second wrench on there so you're not twisting the lead and messing it all up. Always really excited to see what the first spark plug looks like. Oh, that one looks really good actually.
There's no gunge on there or
There's
rust.
nothing on there. There's not even rust on the threads. Usually there's whatever threads stick in the cylinders, there's a little bit of rust on. Nothing on that one. Same here.
Yeah.
Not anything on it. Looks brand new. Plug looks good. It's good.
Yeah.
Nothing wrong with that at all. So all the plugs look good. The question is, what does it look like inside these cylinders? Let's take a look. All right, so we'll start at the front. We're going to work our way back. We'll start at cylinder number 2. Oh man, it looks brand new. Look at that. That looks absolutely perfect. Look at the crosshatch in there. Perfect crosshatch. Looks good. I think we may have got at least like a really, really good engine. Oh, that's beautiful. That looks brand new. Look, there's not even barely any carbon on the piston. Same thing. Not a speck of rust, not a speck of, not even up above the ring lands. So this side's absolutely perfect. All right, check cylinder 1 here. Piston is perfect. Look at that piston. Absolutely perfect. I mean, you can even see the markings on the piston right there. Wow. All right, let's turn this over. It's perfect. All the cross hatches there. There is no rust anywhere. There's no marks anywhere. Cylinder number 3. Little tiny itty bitty. Oh, that's grease. Never mind. Yeah, perfect. Yeah, this thing's in great shape. Oh, it's smooth. Yeah, this cylinder's awesome. So all 3 cylinders look brand new. I have to check these markings. I know one is for steel, and I know one is for the size. So we get a yellow mark and a blue mark, and I believe that's a steel cylinder, and I think it might be 10 over. I'm not sure yet. I'd have to look, or it could be 5 over. But they look great. It's just as we thought. This is a newer overhaul. As far as the time on it and the weather up here at Reading Airport, it must be really good for airplanes because this has been outside for years, and those cylinders are perfect. All right, let's put some stuff in the cylinders. Little lube in there. So no matter what the engine looks like, what the cylinders look like, I always like to get some lubrication down in these cylinders before we turn it over. 2-stroke fluid, always a good lubricant because it is also made to burn, and you're not going to foul out any of your plugs or anything like that.
Spins over really nice.
Real easy. Crazy thing is, I think these are worth flying with logs. I mean, this is probably a $65,000, $70,000 airplane. So the question is, we paid $8,500 for this airplane, which was cheap based on the condition of the engine. I know that now. Beforehand, I didn't know. This could have been locked up. This could have been all kinds of problems. But I think at this point, we know that in parts alone, we would be ahead as long as we can fix that 430. And there's a couple other good parts. There's landing gear. There's the engine, which I already know someone that wants this. But if it was flying and it only cost 15 grand for 2 sets of wings and maybe another 10 for some paint, we could be way farther ahead, but it would take a lot more labor. We know that everything else on the outside looks good. We have oil, so let's get inside. Ooh, we have no key.
Is there a key and we just don't have it, or is there no key?
I'm sure there's a key somewhere in existence somewhere.
In the universe.
So we got power hooked up. Ooh, that didn't sound too good.
Oh boy.
I'd say that's a bad sign for wooden wings when you get on it and they creak and crack.
It's concerning.
All right, so we are having a little bit of an ignition problem, hence the screwdriver. It was frozen, so we did get it to loosen up, and we can do a mag check and we can get it on both, but we can't get it to start by that. So we did hook up our handy dandy solenoid start switch so we can get this turned over and we can see if we have oil pressure right down here. Clear prop. Clear prop. Here it comes. All right, we got 20 pounds of oil pressure. It's good.
I'm interested to see what it'll come up to if it's like running, but
yeah, it'll come right up. This oil pressure gauge is like an inch big, so I really couldn't even tell as it was coming up because it was so slow because it's not that far of a throw. So we're good there. So let's get the plugs back in. We're gonna add some fuel and we'll get this thing fired up. Hopefully, if it has spark.
fingers crossed.
And if the ignition switch works and if it has compression. Anyway, we'll find out. All right, so we're pretty sure we got spark. I know that we have air. There's going to be good compression. These cylinders look awesome. Well, we got to check for fuel. We got to see too, like, do we have water in the fuel? How's the fuel look? I mean, 10 years old. It is leaded aviation fuel, which is a plus, but it still could be pure water. This one is a little bit different. in that it's much like a 172. For those of you who trained in a 172, when you pull this little thing here, it comes out down there. Go ahead. Keep her pulled. All right, that's good. Perfect. Yeah, so we got some bluish green. That does say that it's, oh, it's stale.
Oh, yeah, that's...
Smell that, yeah.
That's undesirable.
Yeah, that's stale. It's still good fuel, believe it or not. Like, I know that'll run. That's one thing about leaded fuel. It really protects the integrity of the fuel, but you can tell it's kind of like a greenish blue and it smells really old.
Rather have that in the tanks than nothing.
Yeah. All right, so we'll check the fuel back here. Smells like gas.
Yeah, not bad.
Looks like gas.
Still kind of bluish greenish, but not the worst.
Let's go check the other wing. A little bit of crud came out of that one if you look in the bottom there.
Oh yeah, there's a little dirt in there now.
A little bit of dirt, but no water. No water in here. I'm really surprised. Yeah, so actually that side is a little more blue, but you can also see
Oh yeah, there's definitely some stuff floating around in there.
some floaties. There's no water though, so that's a good sign. Let's get these plugs back in. What do you think, Corey? Is this thing going to fire up, or is it going to be...
I don't know. I was pretty skeptical upon hearing fabric and wood airplanes sitting for 15 years, but I mean, everything that we've seen would point to this thing should
And I
start.
think it turned out to be, what, 10 years? About 10 years it said,
Yeah.
right? When we looked at the dates in the battery.
It was what, 05, 06 or something?
No, I think it
Or
was...
15, 16?
Yeah, I think it was 16.
So yeah, I mean, everything that we've seen so far would tell me that I would think that this engine would start up. The cylinders look pretty good. The plugs look pretty good. Fuel wasn't bad. Panel came on.
We're just going to put 2 gallons back in, maybe 3, just so we can fire this thing up, make sure the engine works good, and we can make a decision on what we're going to do with this old, really cool airplane. And I kind of wonder what the inside of this wing looks like, what the inside of the tail looks like structurally. I mean, all the metal I've seen, I don't see much rust or corrosion or anything like that, but you know, what would it take to resurface these wings and to make it airworthy again? That's the question. I just don't know.
I'd be interested to get a scope inside.
But I do know someone that does know. All right, that should be good. All right, so we have fresh fuel over there in the right tank. We are on the right selector. I really like this airplane. When you get in, your head clears, like there's plenty of room in here. This is like the big boy plane. So you're a bigger guy, this is a good plane to have. I mean, as long as you step on the right part of the rotten wing. Anyway, so all right, let me turn this on. All right, our mixture's good here. Oh, the propeller loosened right up. Turbocharger, that's working, throttle's working. All right, we got really good fuel pressure. The fuel pressure came right up, so we're good there.
Sounds healthy.
Yeah. Pull the mixer out. We're gonna pull the throttle out. They're good. All right, so yeah, let's get this thing fired up.
Looking pretty official today. Got the fire truck and everything.
You know you're at a good airport when you mention that you're gonna start something up that hasn't been started in a while, and they bring that.
I don't know if I should be concerned or happy.
If it doesn't run, we can make it swim.
Yeah.
So I thought you were bringing a fire extinguisher, not a fire truck.
Big ass fire extinguisher. Now that's fire suppression.
Yes, I love it. So we did go over it all. We checked for leaks. There's no leaks. Actually, the engine is in like really, really good shape. It's such a shame that it sat here for so long.
What do you think the chances are she goes?
That she
0%,
fires up.
100%?
Somewhere between there.
Somewhere in between. Fair enough. I like that answer. What do you think? 0%, 100%?
Oh, it's going to start, baby.
Yeah?
I'd give it a 90% that it's going to start right now.
I concur. I'm pretty confident about it.
All right. So we'll get this on both. Master's on. Mixture's in. Throttle is functioning. Fuel is primed. All right, got the starter button. Gonna pull this door up a little bit. Clear prop. Oh my gosh, it is running so smooth. Oil pressure came right up, no problem. RPM came right up. We have manifold pressure. Fuel flow isn't that high, but that's all right. Everything looks so good. I'm telling you, I don't know if it's the 3-blade prop or what it is, but it is running so smooth. How's it look?
No leaks, no drips. This is one of the better sounding engines that we got.
All right, I'm gonna run it up a little bit. We're gonna do a mag check. That's a little rough. Yeah, it's just a little rough on the mags. Definitely could use probably the plugs clean and the mags cleaned up. And obviously, you're gonna want to rebuild that. Check the prop. There we go. Oh yeah, prop's good. Prop's 100% good. It's got good charging, great, really good oil pressure. The temp's coming right up. I'll tell you, this engine, if I was building an airplane like an RV-10 or something, this is the engine I would put in it. I know it's not what you're supposed to put in them, but if you could sit in here and feel how smooth this thing is running, it is buttery smooth. This is the combo I'd want. Such a cool airplane.
Dude, this thing sounds so
it's
nice.
So smooth. Inside there, you can't feel it shake. It doesn't vibrate. Nothing. It's 100% perfect.
No drips really. It looked like it had a little bit of oil come out of the exhaust hitting the ground there, but not too bad.
It was
smoked real good on startup, but
so
nothing too
smooth.
crazy.
Yeah, this is going to be something. We'll have to see what we can do with it. I'm not sure because of the rotten wings, but we are going to have to pull the wings off. We are going to have to get it out of here, and we're going to have to figure out what we're going to do with it. But I do know someone who does have the answers. Guys, thank you so much for being here. Thank you for being part of Rebuild Rescue. Take care.